up, everybody? So, listen, let's talk about everyone's favorite white rapper, the GOAT, apparently, according to, well, white people who don't like rap, right? Eminem. So, I've listened to, or I should say, I've skimmed this album, The Death of Slim Shady. I am not the audience for this album. I'm black. I'm a black hip hop fan. I'm just not the audience. We all know who Eminem's audience is. He can always come out. He can print money. Okay. The truth of the matter is, the basic demographics show that Eminem can print money regardless of what he drops. More power to him. But this ain't no hip hop shit. Okay. Now, I guess I'll start just with a couple of tracks to illustrate my point. Whenever I listen to an album, the first thing I notice as a hip-hop fan, at least for me personally, is the beats. I've always said this, beats, beats, beats. Hip-hop is a beat-driven genre. See, you hear that beat in the background? That's how it started. It started with the break beats, okay? Someone spin some shit, you know what I mean? Trying to get it to loop, and then people were dancing, right? Right? And then people started rapping. So if you don't have beats, the whole foundation of it is not working. Anyway, now, I found the beats on this album to not be very good, obviously. Eminem's production has never really been very good. And I think I've talked about this in other videos. You're not the only one to think Eminem has always sucked. Eminem has very, very boring beats. And in fact, they are deliberately boring. I find they're very sort of slow and stiff beats, consistently. Very plodding. They just move mad slow to me. And I think it's designed probably that way to make Eminem stand out. It makes him sound like he's fast, actually. Maybe that's the idea. And again, it's made for a non-rhythmic audience, okay? Who like that kind of shit, who can get down with listening to somebody that ain't even on beat, you know what I'm saying? Or where there's really no beat. The beat isn't challenging. Right? They don't have to do no swing, right? Because swing is us, right? Let's be honest here, right? It doesn't mean that a non-black person can't learn swing. Obviously they can't. Hip-hop has become popular because the truth is swing is a human thing, right? But of course, black folk in general tend to have the sauce. So it's like you kind of got to come through us to get that sauce, and then you can figure out the swing. But the truth of the matter is that many people choose not to, and this is why you have Eminem. Eminem exists on the peripheries, on the outside of rap, okay? And there's a lot of people that don't really want to get too close into the nigs, right? That's Eminem's audience, right? Think about when Eminem came out, okay? Eminem could have never had a career if he came out in 1985, 1992, he would have been another Vanilla Ice or whatever. He came out at a time when rap was literally at its, like, pretty much its creative peak, I would say. It had, done the most threatening, greatest ideas, the strongest beats, the craziest stuff, and then comes Eminem. They were literally the last people to get on board with rap. I remember this era, okay? So chances are, and clearly, most of the people that jumped on the Eminem train were people who were never going to like rap, period. Okay? Most of them. Of course, there's a couple of them that when Eminem started to rap, then they found their way back into hip-hop, true. And I'm not saying that didn't happen, but the vast majority of them, especially Eminem's continual audience, these are people that were literally the last people on the train. And that was a lot of white people, by the way. A lot of non-black people and some black folk too. That goes to show you like just how non-hip-hop this audience is, right? So don't be surprised when you hear Eminem albums and you're like, oh, brothers don't really seem to play these? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they're made at an audience that doesn't like rap, period. They only like Eminem. Anyway, so Eminem's beats, I'm not a fan. There's a couple of them that he has that are pretty good. I can't even think of Eminem beat that he's had on this album that's like a top 100 beat. I gotta be honest with you. Eminem has never rhymed on hip-hop stuff like that, right? This is why he's always gonna be a mediocre artist to me, because number one, I look for the beats. His beats are not good. And number two, as I've always said, the voice, the flow, right? The flow's too stiff, too robotic. It doesn't really work. His voice is actually not that engaging. Real shit. So he can never be a great rapper. It's not in it. You know what I'm saying? He's a great rapper to people that don't listen to rap. But for those who do listen to rap, we're like, this is not great stuff at all. And the truth of the matter is, all that syllable, but the shit that he does, any underground rapper worth their salt can kind of do that. You know what I'm saying? If we're being real, right? The truth that what makes rap tough from a lyrical perspective is being able to say fly shit and do all that verbal gymnastics and flow gymnastics while saying some ill shit in an ill way on an ill beat. That's the tough part, right? But if your beat's trash and your voice is trash and your flow is stiff and doesn't have no feeling to it, and then you put in the syllable orange, like it's not that interesting and it's not that deep and it's not that hard to do. But people will completely avoid this very obvious problem, right? So anyway, I'm almost not even talking about the damn album because, again, I kind of don't care. You know, I'll point out this one record. I'm looking at my notes here. Fuel, right? So this is the track that features JID. And what I thought was interesting is that JID is rapping like Eminem, but JID raps like this in general. That robotic, fast and stiff, type of flow, that stutter thing, right? It's almost like a stuttering type of, type of rap. I don't know how to describe it. Now, the problem is, it doesn't really have much charisma to the shit. Like, in my honest opinion, it doesn't really have like a certain, it doesn't make me like, it's just like, it's robot shit, right? Let me see if I can play a little bit. I'm sure I'll get a copyright, so I like how these things go. Right? Like, this is not a beat, that's not a danceable beat, okay? Like, the flow, none of that shit is danceable, right? Hip-hop is about dancing, and again, Eminem capitalized, and this is the whole thing about letting your culture go off course, right? Eminem capitalized on hip hop starting to go off course, right? When it stopped being about dancing and it became about gangster and violent lyrics, and here comes Eminem capitalizing that shit. Again, just as hip hop is starting to hit its creative rut, and we've been stuck in this rut for 20 years at this point, that's when Eminem comes in, okay? Like, something to think about. So my point is this. A lot of rappers, and I think people are just figuring this out. I said this years ago, but a lot of rappers, 99% of them, which is why I don't really like them, even Nicki Minaj and some people you might not really think about and notice, a lot of these people are Eminem clones. Like, really, if you really sit and listen to how they rap and how they're spin their shit, which is probably why you don't really feel them. Kendrick is obviously like that. J. Cole, to a certain extent, is like an Eminem rapper. J. Cole grew up with a white mother, okay? In, Germany or something like that? Eminem is probably his favorite rapper. Low key. Again, he'll talk about Nas and all that stuff because it always sounds cute to align yourself with great black folk. But the truth of the matter is that most of these new rappers, and it's not new, a lot of them are Lil Wayne, Kanye, and Eminem clones. They're literally a mix of these three rappers. And I've made this in a video before as to why most hip-hop in the last 20 years is trash. Because those are the three most, I would say, influential rappers. They're the most pop. They're the ones that really took rap that was already getting to become pop, but really made rap pop, right? So you'll see that most of them all have a mix of that kind of thing. And it's actually really fucking annoying. Now, I didn't care for Fuel, obviously. And even when Eminem starts rapping, G.I.D. and Eminem obviously sound somewhat similar. Because, again, that's the blueprint. Eminem laid the blueprint for a lot of this mumble rap shit. Really. When you really sit and think about it, it's all out of the same flows. But it's like it's robotic. It doesn't quite have a swing to it. It's not really talking about a whole lot. Popping pills, drugs, cartoonish violence. And again, rap had cartoonish violence before Eminem. Again, I don't want to put that there, but this is like from a suburb perspective. It's a little bit different. Anyway, now you have a song like Temporary. Temporary was just, it's just pure pop. I mean, it's Skylar Grey. It's the same old shit that you're going to get from Eminem. Eminem's audience, I mean, that's what they like. And again, there's nothing wrong with being into pop music or liking pop music. I'm just talking about from a rap perspective, from somebody who's a big hip-hop fan. I can't listen to a song like Temporary. It's just not that interesting to me. There's no beat, there's no groove. It's just You know, it's just pop music. It's just, you know, Eminem, you know, through the Eminem variety. It's boring. Now, there's a song on here called Bad One, which I thought was an interesting example of kind of what I'm talking about with the flow. You know, like, if you listen to how Eminem flows on this. Right? Can't dance to that shit. That's not danceable. That's in fact like some fucking some glow sticks techno shit. I mean, again, it's not. There's not no hip hop shit. And again, it's that mumble rap shit. I don't know if this stuff is making sense, you know, but you know, it probably isn't. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And I've said this before. This is not new, right? Now, some guy on the internet is gonna copy this 2-3 years from now after dissing me. They'll then pretend that they came up with this shit. Not realizing that I've been listening to this shit. I can tell obvious things, the sources of obvious flows, right? You know, again, that's kind of the difference between like Amigos and Lord Infamous. Lord Infamous predates Eminem. So his shit had a little more swing to it. Migos were robotic. They're the Eminem version of that shit. Anyway, so now, what next is here? Somebody save me. Yeah, I just had this like cleaning out my closet snare and feel. It was just whacker. So, long story short, man, that's my quick review of the death of Slim Shady. It's just not for me. I already knew this going in. Someone said, "Tochi, you're biased." Well, you know, the truth is, I mean, I had Slim Shady LP on tape. So if you're dope, you're dope. I'll give you a chance. It's not about race either, 100%. Of course, race matters, but dope is also dope, and hip hop is open to all, right? And you guys know, for y'all who watch my channel, that there are white rappers I like, there are white producers I love, like Clams Casino. So again, it doesn't matter what your race is, it matters whether you actually care about rap and if your shit is dope, okay? And the problem is that Eminem's audience is not into rap. I know this because I saw this like with my own eyes as Eminem became more and more popular. Okay, like it was obvious. You go back to them TRL days and everything. Like it's super obvious who's into Eminem. They don't like rap. They never will like rap. Okay. Now, you know, it's okay if you want to do like that. I said like little industrial rock sort of thing, whatever. You know, so little alternative rockisms, you know, mixed with rap for like a pop audience. Cool, right? Eminem does that well. He feeds his, you know, his base. They like his style. That's fine. But on some rap shit, like when people talk that he's one of the great shit, it's literal racist shit. It's culture vulture stuff 101, right? This dude is not that great of a rapper. He never was and he never will be. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have Eminem doesn't have it in him to make like a genuinely great rap record. I'm gonna be honest with you. Eminem has never made a song, like one song in particular, that I can say stacks up to the greats and songs that they've made. Just one, right? Not a single one. So obviously he's never gonna drop an album that will even remotely come close to whatever you think are the great rap albums from Nas, Busta Rhymes, Jay, DMX. It's never gonna happen, right? Because M doesn't want it to happen. That's fine. I mean, he's in his lane. He knows what he's doing, and more power to him. But this ain't for me, and it's not for a lot of black folk. I'm be honest. Now, again, someone's gonna say, I know black people that listen to Eminem. Yeah, but they don't really listen to rap like that either. And there's a lot of us that don't really listen to rap like that. And that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But do you know hip hop motherfuckers, black hip hop folk that be listening to Dilla? You know what I'm saying? Be rocking out Slum Village. Eminem would never rap on some shit like this, because Eminem he can't catch it. His voice can't catch a flow like this, right? This is what I'm talking about, swing. You know what I'm saying? And I know this beat's old, but again, if your shit don't have no swing, you're not doing anything really cool in hip hop. All right? Later.